All right, let's tie some Crappie Candy. We got a size 8 streamer hook, 4XL in the vise. We're going to use some 140 Denier thread here to lay down a nice base for our dumbbell eyes. And with the dumbbell eyes, we're going to make a bunch of X wraps on it and then come underneath all those X wraps to really tighten those down and secure it in place, and then put some super glue that'll just lock it all down. This fly's going to have a Marabou tail, so we're going to go ahead and grab some Marabou. I've seen it done both ways, with ripping the fine tips off the Marabou to get a big, fuller chunk of a tail, or leaving them there. With this fly being kind of small, I'm going to go ahead and leave them there so the tail isn't like this massive thing on the back. But I'd probably work or try it both ways and see what works best in your water. All right, now we got that tail nicely secured. We're going to flip that fly over since I don't have a rotary vise, hopefully soon. But we need to tie in that top wing of flash. So we'll go ahead and get the fly flipped and get a nice clump of Krystal flash. I don't know, I probably have 10 strands worth, and get that tied in all the way to the back of the hook. Now that we've got that flash tied in, go ahead and flip the fly back over or spin it around with your rotary vise. I find it a lot easier to put the body on with the fly oriented correctly. I have tied this fly in the past with just a normal 2mm ultra chenille, and it makes a just fine body, but I'd seen this chewing gum chenille and thought it'd be fun to try on this fly, so that's what I'm using today. I think it does make it a little bit more fun, so why not? And we'll try it out here shortly to see if the fish care. So go ahead and tie that in the back. Since you got 140 denier thread, you can build up a nice smooth body fairly quickly for that, and go ahead and just touching turns all the way to the back of the barbell eyes. Now that we got that chenille tied in, we're going to go ahead and bring the thread forward and get ready to tie in the under wing on this fly, which is going to be some bucktail in white. I think it really helps get that underbelly of like a bait fish, which is going to be white, kind of gives it that appeal. And you're going to kind of build up a thread base, kind of the head of the fly at the front to kind of help tie in that bucktail, both in front and then also right behind the barbell eyes. With this little clump of deer hair bucktail, we don't need it to be a large amount, so I maybe a half to quarter pencil width is what I clipped out of the bucktail, and I'm getting rid of all the small fibers to where I have just a very small amount. You can see I really have maybe a couple dozen fibers. It makes it a lot easier to tie in and keep the head of the fly not too bulky. All right, let's flip this fly over one more time so we can get the flash tied down, get that top wing of flash put together. You got to be a little bit careful to keep all of the marabou tail out of your Krystal flash, but it shouldn't be too hard. So you fold it forward all the way to the front. Try to leave yourself some room between the dumbbell eyes and the hook eyes so that you can get a nice smooth head to the fly afterwards. You're going to secure it down and then fold it back. Try to get about half the fibers on each side of the hook point, and then tie back over it and cut it to be just a little bit longer than where the hook bend is. And then you can finish up a nice smooth head to this fly. All right, now that you got it all whip finished, I like to go back and either with super glue or some UV resin, put it on the head of the fly and on top of the dumbbells, just to give it some extra durability, and then you shouldn't have any problems with this thing ever coming apart, and you can fish it until it just gets completely chewed up. So that is the Crappie Candy. I think you should tie up a whole bunch of them. The Chartreuse color is really the main color that works for me. Give them a try, and don't forget to like and subscribe.